myself back to my channel since, how long has it been since I uploaded a video? I mean, I have filmed, I'll be honest, I have filmed a few videos that never made it to public, let's say. But you know what, it's just been such a long, tedious journey from moving. I moved, I think in December, and before that we did some renovations. So you know, like when you're selling a house, you have to kind of pack everything away, and there is so much stuff that I film with, so I had to pack it away. And then when I moved to this house, it took me a while to actually get back into filming. And anyone that does YouTube would tell you, the moment you break your YouTube filming schedule or just the habit of filming, it's such a hard thing to get back into, because filming and editing and lighting and camera and equipment and making sure everything goes right is such a tedious task that once you get out of that habit, it's so hard to get back into it. For today's video, I want to do a favorites video because it's been a while since I obviously filmed and let you guys into what I'm loving makeup wise, and honestly I'm gonna just say beauty wise, because one of the things that I went through on my channel is that I felt like I wasn't giving enough of myself, and I was just so focused on makeup because when I started my channel, makeup was the thing that I wanted to showcase. In this favorites video, I am going to talk a lot about makeup obviously, but I also want to talk about other things as well, and I cannot wait to share some of these things with you guys because it's like has to do with like your health and you know, just like different things. And of course, I'm going to share some skincare with you guys because as I just disclosed, I am a trained, certified, whatever you want to call it, esthetician. I am going to start with makeup first because, of course, that's what I want to start with first. And I'm just going to go in order of how I will apply it because, you know, I think that would be the best way to do it. But except for skincare, I'm going to start with makeup and then do skincare. I want to talk about these two primers, and these are primers that I've had in my stash for a while. This one is the Sephora Pore and Fine Line Filler Primer. It's very similar to the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. I don't know if I ever mentioned this on my channel, but I think a year and a half ago I went to China, and I was there for I think 3 weeks. I went to different parts, but when I went there, I realized that I forgot my primer, and luckily they had a Sephora there, so I went in and I purchased this primer. And as I said, it's very similar to the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer, which is one of my all-time favorite primers, but this one is one that I go to all the time. See, the lighting is just not my favorite because you guys can't even see that, but yeah, it's one of those things that I reach for every single day because I don't use my Makeup Forever one every day because it's so expensive. And you guys will get to learn that about me. I feel like I use products, and I realize that a lot of people do this as well. You have products that you can go to all the time, and then you have products that are like your special occasion if you want to look that extra fine, you know, that day, then you go for those primers or you go for those products. But this is one that I reach for every single day when I'm gonna do makeup at least. The other one is one that I've had for such a long time. Okay, so this one is the Benefit Stay Flawless 15-Hour Primer. And if you guys could think back to how long this came out, probably 2 or 3 years ago, that's how long I've had it for. And of course, I am someone from day one, you guys know, I love long wear products. It's something that I practice even as a makeup artist, but I want when I put my makeup on, I don't have to touch it. I may touch up my lips, but that's about it. But this thing is something that I go back to, and it's in sort of like a tube. So you kind of roll it up like a deodorant and you go ahead and you put it on your face. I don't think this is something that you can get a sample of at Sephora, but it's kept so long, and I would reach for this, say in the summertime, or if I'm going away and I want to know that my makeup is going to be nice and locked in for the day. But I've started using this just in my T-zone where I'm starting to see my pores a little bit more visible lately, which is not a good feeling. But this I find is like, once again, the Makeup Forever smoothing primer, but it also gives me a very long wearing added bonus to it. And then at the same time, I also noticed that this is a much thinner consistency, because as I said, you kind of, ooh, it has a cover on it that keeps falling. So you kind of put it on your face, and you can either just put it on and leave it, but I just use my finger just to smooth it out. And I just love this so much. It gives me such a nice smooth canvas to, you know, put makeup over. And every time I've used it, I've seen a difference with how my makeup looks, and it's always looks so smooth, flawless, and it just makes me look like I have no pores. So now on to foundation. Okay, I should say foundations. By the way, rarely do I ever use one foundation by itself. I filmed a video a good 2 years ago that I never uploaded called My Favorite Foundation Combinations. And I filmed the video twice, and both times I wasn't happy with how it came out. So I never uploaded that video, but it's definitely one that I'm gonna film for you guys, because I mean, I filmed this, as I said, 2 years ago, and I remember exactly because it's been a year, and you know, I'm gonna backtrack to another year that I filmed this video, and I keep going back to it, thinking that I'm gonna refilm it, but I've never refilmed it. But I seldom use more than, I mean, just one foundation. I always have to mix my foundations because I'm so particular about how I want my face to look and how I want my foundation to lay and how long I want it to be in terms of wear time, that I don't think I've ever found that in a foundation, just one. I will say the Estee Lauder long wear or double wear foundation comes one of the closest to it, and the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation as well. That's one of my everyday go-to foundations. But I am going to say these are my two favorites in terms of combination right now. This Florrie Roberts foundation stick is one that I can use all by itself. You can probably look at it and think that it reminds you of the, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. What's that brand? Every time I'm thinking about this brand, Bobbi Brown comes to mind, but it's not Bobbi Brown. It's a black, not Black Radiance. Oh my God. I forgot. I'll leave the name here, but Florrie Roberts stick foundation, it's called, it's pretty much foundation stick by the brand Florrie Roberts. I have the shade Toasted Almond, and I think this is probably the lightest, or maybe there's another shade lighter than this. I purchased this at the beauty supply store. And I'm not sure how it is in the States, but I think they only had 5 colors at my beauty supply store. So maybe in the US they usually have more colors, but this is not a foundation that, you know, it's pretty much geared towards women of color. As I said, I have this shade Toasted Almond, which it's slightly darker than my complexion, but honestly guys, I am so in love with this foundation that I have to force myself to use other things. I really truly have to tell myself, stop using this. I use this pretty much the entire winter. Like the entire winter I use this, and all by itself. Now that it's coming along, you know, spring, you know, into summer, it's getting warmer, or if I want my makeup to stay on all day, if I know that I'm gonna be out all day, I will pop the Estee Lauder in the center, where I feel like foundation wears off a little bit easier for me, is, you know, in the center of my face. So I will not mix it together, but I will put this in the center just so that it gives me a little bit more of a long wear feel. This is not as hydrating or as greasy as that other foundation stick, but it's just such a beautiful formula. I wish if she would have more shades of this, because I would use this to highlight, I would use this to contour, and I would use this as a foundation stick because I like it that much. It's just amazing. And this doesn't break up like that other brand. Like, this does not break up on your skin. As I said, I can wear this all day during the winter time. And it still gives me a nice satiny matte finish in the winter time, but I just don't like to blot, and I want to make sure that my makeup stays on all day, and this is where the Estee Lauder Double Wear comes into play. Now the thing with the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancers is that they don't really go by numbers per se, so it's very tricky to buy online. And I probably would have never chose SX08 if I hadn't seen it in person, and that's why I ended up going with SX10, because I thought that that would be, you know, more suitable to highlight for my skin tone. But turned out that it was lighter and it was a lot more cool slash pink undertone. So I'm not sure if you guys are close to a place that sells this, but I would recommend, you know, I don't know, maybe looking at some reviews or something like that just to see what other colors people are using. But for reference, I hate using this reference, but I'm more of a NC45 at MAC. So SX08 is the shade that I love. It's brightening enough and it gives me that nice warm yellow tone that I love. Okay, concealers. One is not gonna be a surprise for you guys. The Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer is just a staple for me. I love this so much, and I've had the shade, I have the shade SX10, but that one was a little bit too cool for me. It was more of a pinky undertone, which I had someone purchased for me. But this one is the shade SX08, which I purchased at IMAX a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, to be honest. Guys, this is just my favorite, and I don't know if you could see in there, but that's how much I've used in 3 years. That's how much I've used in 3 years, and this is my go-to concealer. I will be honest, I don't really use this by itself. Maybe 50% of the time I mix it with another concealer. The reason being is that it's a very full coverage, very thick foundation. It is. You can use it as a foundation, a concealer, you know, it's your choice. You can mix it with a moisturizer because this is literally pure pigment. You need such a small amount of this that the price just makes up for it like 1,000 times. I think this retails in Sephora for 52 to 57 Canadian dollars. But it will last you forever. It will seriously last you forever. But the reason why I mix it with another foundation is because I don't bring it right under my eyes because of the texture. It will crease. Doesn't matter how small amount, doesn't matter how much I use there or how try to use a small amount, it always gives me creasing, so I don't really use it all the way up there. But guys, this is just a perfect color for me. It has such a nice warm background. It's just absolutely beautiful. It suits me so well. Next concealer is a new favorite of mine. This is the Tarte Shape Tape. When Shape Tape came out, I mean, everybody was just raving and raving about it, and one of the things with me is that if I'm just hearing too much raving about something, I can either get completely turned off or I could get completely curious about it. And this one I was so curious about, and the one that I use for myself is called Tan. I also have the shade Tan Sand, which I think this has more of a peachy undertone, and the Tan Sand has more of a yellow undertone. I don't know which one I like more. I think if I'm going for more of a brightened under eye, I would go for Tan Sand, but this is the one that I use right now. And of course I will mix the two together, and that's what I did today. I put most of the Kevyn Aucoin, you know, on my, like right in this area, right here. And then right underneath my eyes, I put this. Now, I will say it does live up to the hype. I am in love. I absolutely adore this. It reminds me of MAC's Pro Longwear foundation, except MAC's Pro Longwear is a little bit thinner. But if you let that the MAC concealer sit for about a minute before you start blending it, this is what it reminds me of. This also too is a little bit thicker, so it's more full coverage. It's almost like a liquid version of this, but it has like a long wear feeling to it, because if you let this sit underneath your eyes for a little bit and not blend right away, it does start to set, which I absolutely love. And I love this for all skin types, even though I do have combination normal oily skin. This is something that I use on people with dry skin as well. So this is definitely one of my favorite products, and I'm getting out of breath because, you know, I don't talk like this all the time anymore. I'm gonna skip to another product that I've been loving, and it's another Makeup Forever product. It's the Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Duo, and this is in number 2. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but this is my favorite highlighter in my entire collection. Yes, it is. And everybody that loves makeup has a bunch of highlighters. This is a highlighter that I wear every day. I don't get tired of it. I just want to keep wearing it. And that's a big deal for me, because I am someone that I get so bored with products that I just want to switch it up all the time. Like, I just want to keep rotating my products. But this is one, I just find myself going back to it all the time because it sits so beautifully on the skin. I'm wearing it today. It gives me highlight, and it can also give me like a nice blending highlight if I just continue applying it, or if I spritz my face and then go over it with a brush. I love this so much. I love the way it makes me look. I can wear it in the daytime and I can wear it in the nighttime. This blush is a Sephora Colorful Blush in Hot Flush number 13. I hope you guys could see that, because that is an intense orange blush. Charlie, 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 do you mind? Do you guys remember Charlie? He's having a hot dog. Anyway, so this is an intense orange blush. I love this blush so much, guys. Another product that I have so much blushes, but I cannot stay away from this blush. But anyways, that's what it looks like. It's such a beautiful shade. Now, this is a blush that you can sheer it down and you can build it up. You can be, I would say light, maybe not fair skin tone, but I can see someone that's light to dark deep being able to wear this blush, and it all depends on how much you build it up, like how much you take on your brush and how much you build it up. It's like, it's one of those things that is just so beautiful, and you're wondering how are they able to make it work for so many different, you know, skin tones. But it's such a beautiful shade. The texture is not completely matte. It has sort of like a satiny texture to it with a little bit of a gold background. But guys, if you can get your hands on number 13 Hot Flush Blush from Sephora, then it's just one of those must-have products. Okay guys, so I do want to start talking about lips now, because I do have some fragrance and skincare to talk to you guys about. But I've been so lazy with my lips lately. I've only stuck to 3 colors, and it's so bad. Once again, totally not me, but I think this favorites video should be a testament to how uninspired I've been with makeup personally for the past few months. It's not that I've not been wearing makeup, it's just that I've just stuck to like in this rut that I need to break out of. But anyways, I have 3 products, 3 combinations per se that I want to share with you guys. I'll start with the lip liners. They are 3 by MAC: Cork, Hover, and Plum. These are not new to you guys, but literally these are just the 3 lip liners I use every day. It's so bad that right now they are almost down to the knob because I use this every single day. As for the 3 lip colors, let's start with this one. Makeup Forever Liquid Lipstick in the shade 103. Yash Matte Lipstick from MAC. And Entice Intense Matte Lippy Thingy from Nude Sticks. Guys, if I swatch these colors, they're pretty much the exact same color in different formulas. This though, this little one that is almost finished here from Nude Sticks in Entice, guys, it's beautiful. It is the perfect nude. I cannot stop putting this on. This is the only lipstick in a long time that I'm sure some of you guys can relate. You just keep putting it on and putting it on. Like, I keep putting this on because I love it so much. Like, I could look in the mirror, I'm like, oh, it's wearing away, and start reapplying it. I love it. I love applying it. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that you have to sharpen it. And if it wasn't for the fact that you have to sharpen it all the time, this would probably be completely gone. But the fact that I have to sharpen it all the time kind of prevents me from using it, because, you know, sometimes I go to use it and it's completely worn down and I don't have the sharpener that comes with it to resharpen it. But this is such a beautiful color, and it's always sold out at Sephora. I've been trying to get a backup because I keep thinking I'm gonna run out, and I love this lipstick so much that I don't want to run out of it. So before I wrap up this favorites video, I do have to mention eyeshadows. Like, how can I do a favorites video without mentioning some eyeshadows, right? Okay, so the first ones I want to mention are these. And these are my Inglot, or some of my Inglot eyeshadows. Now, can you guys just say everyday palette? Like, these eyeshadows I literally use every single day. I sometimes think to myself, I want to post on Instagram. I do want to post some selfies, you know, but I literally do the same look every day or every time I do my makeup. I honestly use mostly all the shades down here. There's a creamy yellow beige shade that's missing right there, but for the most part I use all these shades down here, all these shades up here, and pretty much all of these in here, and that comprises of my everyday eyeshadow makeup look. Inglot eyeshadows, one of my favorite eyeshadows. They're not talked about recently, but they are honestly one of my favorite formulas. And most of the colors that you're seeing down here is from a recently launched collection that they did called the Spice Collection, which the shades are just so beautiful. I think I'm missing about 3 of the shades, but I honestly need to pick them up because I love the formula. I don't know if they did anything different with those mattes, but I absolutely love them. So this would be the palette that I reach for every day. But I'll be honest, I just recently picked this Natasha Denona palette up. This is her Star palette, and I feel like I use this every single day. I honestly was getting bored with the lid shades in this palette because I use it so much, but this one just gives me so much more variety. Not a ton, because these 2 shades, I'll be honest, look exactly alike, but I love the mattes in this as well. I can say that I can honestly reach for this palette and do a complete makeup look with it and be out the door. But the 2 of these kind of go together for me, only because I'm not ready to fully let this go. It's slowly creeping its way into my everyday look, because I would be like, I need another lid shade, and I would immediately go for this one, because I think a lot of you guys know Natasha Denona, her products are hella expensive, but I mean, she does deserve the hype she gets, especially with her eyeshadows. I haven't tried any of her other products. Like, I haven't tried her foundation. I haven't tried like her blushes, and she does have some new contour palettes, I think now, but her eyeshadows are bomb. They're absolutely beautiful. Another one of my favorite formulas, and her shimmers are completely off the charts beautiful. So I will definitely say, if I have these 2 right beside me, I would continue using them without reaching for anything else. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'm gonna try to edit this down as small as possible, because I told myself that I wasn't gonna make this a long video, but There's so much products that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So thank you so much for watching. If you watched the whole video, give me a thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed, make sure you do, of course. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.